Welcome back to the news at 10. The Nigerian Navy shipyard Pathfinder has intercepted and impounded 2 vessels laden with about 1.5 million litres of illegally refined crude at the Federal Ocean Terminal and Fertilizer Terminal in Onne, Rivers State. The executive officer of NNS Pathfinder, Captain Victor Choji, says 26 suspects were also arrested and have been handed over to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission.
The Nigerian Navy ship NNS Pathfinder, on routine patrol, intercepted at about 23:50 on the 29th of May 2017 a vessel, MT Anino, operating bodily with a 1 million litre barge laden with unquantified suspected illegally refined AGO with about 26 crew members on board. Additionally, on the 30th of May 2017, another barge, a Terrier, a 1 million litre barge, was intercepted also around the Ogono community, laden with also unquantified suspected illegally refined AGO. The crew are these people you are seeing behind me. We are standing on one of the barges, and the vessel are in our custody as preliminary investigation is ongoing. At this point, let me first reassure the members of the public that law-abiding Nigerians operating with this area are reassured that NNS Pathfinder has revved up its activities against crude oil theft, illegal bunkering, and all forms of illegalities within the Rivers State maritime environment.
The Rivers State government is facing a new challenge, that of managing clashes between farmers and herdsmen. Trouble is brewing in Afamoku community in Oyibo local government area of the state, where some deaths have recently been recorded as herdsmen attacks. And with the farmers and herders calling on governments and security agencies to intervene, our correspondent Emmanuel Ere reports.
Lying few kilometers northeast of Port Harcourt is Oyibo local government area, a satellite town of Rivers State capital, host to some oil and gas installations such as the Afam gas plant and Afam power plant. It's more of an agrarian town with rich arable land. Many of the locals here depend on farming for their livelihoods. For over 2 decades, this man and his wife have been in the business of farming. But now, their business is on the low as a result of alleged herdsmen attacks. This is Afamoku community in Oyibo local government area of Rivers State, where we understand that in the last few days, at least 3 lives have been lost as a result of a clash between farmers and herdsmen, a situation the residents here hope will be nipped in the bud to avoid an escalation of the matter that could possibly lead to the loss of more lives. This is the home of one of the men killed in his farm by suspected herdsmen.
They say, "No man, you don't shout too much. Now, if you shout again, you are dead." I say, "Hey, Jesus." And today, when I'm alive, they say, "Oh, you, and today, where you're alive." And I say, "I beg, I beg, man, I'm going to flogging him, beating him. I still hate him. The next thing is gone. They shoot him."
The local council and community leaders visit the community. They are not happy with the situation. They want urgent intervention by the government.
What we are seeing now, they have formed an enclave. They have places where they use as a hideout, and then they strike suddenly, and then they withdraw. So this is what we are begging the federal government. According to our grazing bill, nobody is supposed to restrict anybody from going around any part of Nigeria. But again, we need to put a framework of action that will mitigate occurrence, that will be a kind of preparedness plan.
Our investigation takes us to the settlement of one of the herdsmen, who is still mourning over the alleged killing of his 19-year-old son by yet-to-be-identified gunmen in retaliation of the killing of some farmers.
All the small cow we keep for our women, we will the first one for them. This boy just carry cow, go bush. I seen go bush, he won't come back around 5:30. People, boys, they don't hide, shoot them, kill them. They live and dead like that. What do we do then?
Because of the problem where they happen in this Obibo site, we know they appreciate. Since while we are here, we know they are in trouble. We are businessmen. Hausa Fulani, all will be Hausa Fulani. Nothing like a different. But since last 3 weeks coming now, we lost many people. But we know they see the dead body. By luckily we come to get this guy.
What is the police doing to stop this from snowballing into a full-blown crisis?
What we did to dull the tension was we immediately called the leaders of the Fulani. We had a meeting with them. We have also had a meeting with the community, along with their traditional ruler. The traditional ruler was so excellent, was wonderful. And we are investigating the matter. By the grace of God, we assured them the killers of that 19-year-old boy will be fished out. So tension has really doused down.
While calling on the federal government to find a lasting solution to incessant herdsmen attacks and all parties to respect the rights of one another, many are asking the security agencies to clamp down on all forms of criminality to halt further killings. Emmanuel Irei, Channels Television News.
Staying in the region, indigents of Akwa Ibom State who were displaced from Bakassi Peninsula are appealing to the federal government for assistance to enable them resettle in the state. And the displaced persons made the appeal when representatives of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons visited the returnees' local transit camps across the state. This report looks at the situation in the refugee camp.
A typical morning at a camp holding refugees from the Bakassi Peninsula in Akwa Ibom State. It's either be early on the queue or miss out on the day's ration. These dejected-looking refugees know they have to wait for the next meal line, which will be tomorrow. They will be ready. The lucky ones feast on with relief. The little corn cobs available will somehow feed many. Anything edible is gold here. Age is no recipe for preferential treatment. The monitors ensure everyone has a go. Sometimes they brandish sticks for this to happen. This is how they have been living since October 2012, following the ceding of the region to Cameroon, a move which left them without a place to call home, except here. Their camp further shows how bad that situation is. Reports say up to 100 people are cramped into a room at night. There are not enough mosquito nets to go around. The problems are many.
I know as I did alone, my husband no feed waka. I don't have anything to help my children in the school, even in the house to eat. Something hard.
We are homeless and we need a settlement camp for federal government to build a house and also to help us. Most of us lost our properties, at least to empower us.
Assessment visits by the officials of the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and IDPs is meant to be a show of concern that all will be well.
Please maintain a line and let's come, please. Relief will be sent immediately, we can assure you in the commission. But for what we call durable solutions, there are things we call durable solutions, like the long-term empowerment programs, like the skill acquisition programs. That is going to be designed immediate durable solutions are provided for the people.
Words many of these refugees have grown old and weary listening to. The fear of the elderly is that the little ones do not remain here as long as they have, holding on to promises from the government which may never be fulfilled.
I also thank those that have shown us cooperation and support.
Meanwhile, farmers in Sokoto State are now buying a bag of fertilizer at subsidized rate of 4,000 naira. That's according to the against the 500 naira they've been approved. Has been approved by the federal government. At the flag off of the sale of fertilizer, Governor Aminu Tambawal of Sokoto State warned against diversion of the product. The governor says the state government is also providing seedlings to farmers to improve yields.
The farming season is just beginning as farmers get to work the ground, hoping for a productive season. In Sokoto State, fertilizer subsidy from the government couldn't have come at a better time. Governor Aminu Tambawal warns against diversion of fertilizers by officials and farmers.
The federal government reached an agreement with the government of Morocco to produce the fertilizers. The government is giving them out at 5,500 naira. However, we are subsidizing these fertilizers for farmers in Sokoto State. So, instead of a total sum of 5,500 naira, farmers will pay 4,000 naira only, while the government will cover the 1,500 naira deficit. Now that you have been empowered, it is hoped that you will do your best to be productive.
To ensure that the efforts of the farmers are productive, the government distributes farm implements.
This initiative, which will go a long way in galvanizing and fast-tracking agricultural activities in Sokoto State and by extension our dear country, Nigeria.
The government is introducing these incentives with the hope that the farmers will get to work and ensure improved yields.
Selected African artists display their creativity at the Brilliant Gallery in Lagos. Our review tonight shows some of the best works the continent has to offer. The Brilliant Brush Gallery comes to the Renaissance Hotel in Lagos to exhibit. Although the gallery has been existing for a while now and have hosted several art events across the world, but they now feel it's time to announce themselves more in Nigeria, especially because of what they've set out to achieve.
Being a new outfit, kind of would say that, okay, let's have an exhibition, let's promote. If you look at the exhibition, really, it's basically, except for one or two artists, it is basically an exhibition for upcoming artists. And that was why I felt, okay, these are artists who are trying to come up and trying to evolve into masters and budding masters. And that was why I decided to choose the word evolve for the exhibition. Evolve is the title of the maiden exhibition. It features contemporary artists who are making waves and those unsung heroes who are also doing well but don't usually get noticed. We've got a collection of artists from the veteran Obina, Padi Obina, who is presently the special assistant to the governor of Imo State. We have Bolaji Ogun, who is a lecturer in University of Lagos. We have Ola Balogun on display. We have Emeka Ilechuku. We have Joel Arueya and some other artists, Razak Ahmed. Although most of the artists are not present, one of them is here, and she explains the style and technique she's adopted in her works of art and the issues which are passionate to her.
I work with all kinds of things. I work with canvas, I work with acrylic paints, I do mixed media, I add all kinds of things to my works. Whatever takes my fancy, really. It depends on the genre or on what I want to depict.
For art patrons like Aki Fatude, seeing this work of art called Ojuelegba felt so real because it's all too familiar.
I just came in here and I passed through Ojuelegba and I saw the Ojuelegba real captured here. And I'm asking myself the question, did the artists or the exhibitors know I was going to pass through Ojuelegba? You know, when you talk about motor coming from the east, motor coming from the west, from the north, and then there is a confusion in the center.
This is the first major exhibition by the gallery in Lagos, and from the look of things, another one may soon be in the works. Still ahead of the news at 10, Imba International extends unbeaten home run to 5 games, defeat league leaders Plateau United in PFL match day 22. That's coming up in sports news. Please stay with us.